This video is brought to you by Game Maker. If you've ever wanted to get into game development, Game Maker does this really crazy thing where it's free. Just start making and only pay when you want to release your game to the world commercially.
It's fast, it's user-friendly, and there's easy-to-follow tutorials, plus a dedicated answer even my questions. How make man jump? Game Maker is a 2D game engine that's helped bring some of yours and my favorite recent experiences to life, like UFO 50, Chicory, Anton Blast, and of course, Yahtzee's own Starstruck Vagabond.
Ooh, are we talking about Game Maker? I love that program, it's so easy to use. As well as Starstruck Vagabond, I also used it to make all 12 projects in my 12 games in 12 months Dev Diary challenge. And I couldn't believe how much sex I got out of that. None. I got none at all. Which I couldn't believe.
So what are you waiting for? Head on over to the Game Maker link.
This video is brought to you by Game Maker. If you've ever wanted to get into game development, Game Maker does this really crazy thing where it's free. Just start making and only pay when you want to release your game to the world commercially.
It's fast, it's user-friendly, and there's easy-to-follow tutorials, plus a dedicated community to help answer even my questions. How make man jump? Game Maker is a 2D game engine that's helped bring some of yours and my favorite recent experiences to life, like UFO 50, Chicory, Anton Blast, and of course, Yahtzee's own Starstruck Vagabond.
Ooh, are we talking about Game Maker? I love that program, it's so easy to use. As well as Starstruck Vagabond, I also used it to make all 12 projects in my 12 games in 12 months Dev Diary challenge. And I couldn't believe how much sex I got out of that. None. I got none at all. Which I couldn't believe.
So what are you waiting for? Head on over to the Game Maker link in the description and start cracking away today, because we want to play your game.
Yeah, looking through this list, I'm seeing one of you made Armpit Fart Tycoon, and I've got several questions for you.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Windbreaker podcast. I'm Yahtzee Crowshaw. Sorry about that, bit of a shaky start, but importantly, it wasn't my fault. I'm joined by Jay and Marty as always. I should say, finally, again, after all those weeks, one of us was
we have
missing.
Reunited. We had that string of all of us being off at different times.
I know we're finally here. I don't even know what to do with my hands.
Just don't. Just never show your hands on this stream.
That's actually a pretty decent idea. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to know what my hand's doing. I'm stroking the head of an out-of-shot dog.
Jeez, sauce. I was really worried about that sentence.
Anyway, serious now. We're serious gaming correspondents. And this week we're talking about design issues in games that seriously need to bugger off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, they need to get out of here.
Yes. Now, obviously, I've been talking about this in every game ever for about 15 years now. But there's a couple that are very thoroughly top of mind. One of which that is coming off Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I know we're all friends with. But one thing I really wanted to shout out is that I'm really fucking sick of skill trees.
Gotcha.
I mean, let's be fair.
Now streaming. Hey, I think I see us.
What?
Are we up?
What happened?
Possibly. We might be live.
Hey, I see 3 cameras. I see 3 cameras on.
Oh shit.
Are we here?
If
anyone says anything about the fact that there's going to be green bars under when Jay speaks, or the fact that some of our cameras overlay, you can fucking jump off a bridge into a river. I don't care. This is good enough.
A deep river.
Okay.
A
We're
deep
back
river.
now.
Yeah, so do you want to just maybe do like
again.
a fresh one from the top?
Oh, Gordon Bennett. Hey, we're talking about problems. We're talking about bad design choices that we want to go away. Remember?
I think podcasts were a bad design choice, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. How you transition between them is pretty sucky.
Yeah.
Yes, before I was rudely interrupted, I was talking about skill trees and how, I'm fine with skill trees as part of, a grand RPG like Skyrim, where you can craft like a different character and to tailor to a specific preferred gameplay style. But I hate how every game that's just even shit like fucking linear action adventures feel like they have to have skill trees, especially when you can tell that they're designed that the player would be able to beat the game even if they didn't pick any upgrades at all.
Yeah.
So they're all shit like get 0.5% more time in Rage of the Gods mode or whatever.
And this was really this stemmed from your time with Donkey Kong Bonanza, correct?
Yes, this is what it's. I mean, spoiler alert, because my review's this week. But one of my criticisms for the game is that the skill tree really feels pretty vestigial, and it's weird to see a skill tree like that in a first-party Nintendo game, especially something that's otherwise full of Odyssey vibes. Odyssey never had a skill tree, and it doesn't feel like something Nintendo usually go in for.
No. So it's funny. I talked about this in I have a Donkey Kong video that went up earlier this morning with Eric did an incredible job of editing, and the skill tree component, and specifically how you earn bananas in those challenge rooms, reminded me a lot of the design philosophy of the modern Zelda games. Like you go into those little micro challenges that exist in a liminal space. You smash a bunch of things. You get your bananas, and then you can spend your bananas on either things like stamina or health or anything like that.
The chat's saying we might be frozen again.
Frozen again? We look fine on my preview.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe give it a refresh, chat.
Let me refresh on my end and see.
No, we look good. Don't.
On my end,
yeah, the problem is you can't believe they're full of tricksters. They're full of little Lokis out there.
Okay,
no
fine.
frozen. Yeah. To jump off what you were saying, Marty and Yahtzee, I view skill trees as a way to do like faux delayed gratification, but trying to give it into the player's hands, and I don't particularly like it because something in other games where you would defeat a challenge and be given an ability to help you or allow you to access new areas, they're just instead giving it to the player based on XP or, in this case, gaining bananas. A lot of the times I just don't feel like any of that is needed, and once you realize that, a lot of the excitement of getting the new abilities is kind of destroyed.
I mean the bananas. The only really things that matter in the Bonanza skill tree is to increase your health and increase your punch strength. And either of those could have been done in like, God of War, Gorgon's Eye method, where you find 5 collectibles of one specific kind. And once you get 5, it increases your maximum health.
I mean, I usually feel that there's more than just those two things that are useful. There's the extending your sonar range and extending the range that kind of like your ground pound magnetizes things towards you.
Or the flying. Right?
Yeah, but by and large, Ragnarok was the game that kind of the straw that broke the camel's back for me, of that like 0.3 extra fire damage. Like what does this fucking mean? Like, I don't feel anything in the moment to moment, so this isn't doing anything for me.
A lot of this shit is tied to that sort of, number crunching live service sort of attitude.
Yeah.
Where it's like security theater. It's giving us the illusion that we're improving because we've got the thing that gives us greener numbers in the equipment screen.
It's not understanding how MMOs are put together and just seeing, MMOs are popular, we should copy what they're doing, and it's like.
But I think also that's like a very specific type of person. If you like, if you buy into an MMO, like that's kind of the experience you're buying into. Whereas, like, I don't need that in kind of like a cinematic, relatively linear, story-driven game like God of War or something like that. It's funny.
If you're gonna have skill trees, I want a skill tree. I want it to, every time I pick something off a skill tree, that the game feels different.
Sure.
After you've gotten it. That's the kind of skill tree I want. That's the only
example
kind of
a game that does that.
I mean, that's
something like anything where the skill tree is more about unlocking different moves, like in Devil May Cry.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Prototype, I think, is a good one for that.
I mean, Metroidvanias are that. It's not a skill tree, but every time you get something, you feel like, oh, like a new way to see this world has opened up for me.
Yeah. It's handcrafted in that sense. I don't like putting that experience into the player's hands, right? Because you can't control whether they understand that unlocking an ability is important. And if you are forcing them to upgrade a specific ability at a specific time so they can access more of content, you might as well just fucking do it yourself. Give them the ability rather than saying, hey, go do it in a skill tree.
I also don't like when those specific abilities are tethered in games to cosmetic choices. Donkey Kong also did that, where it's like, well, if I want to take less poison damage, I need to wear this, but I like the way this thing looks. Like,
yeah, so maybe you want to wear something else.
Yeah,
that's the problem with that. That's why transmog is a thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly. MMO thing that people should be stealing, which is transmog.
Yeah,
like it definitely should be a thing. In Bonanza, that was my exact same gripe, which was I wanted the upgrades from the clothes, but wanted to have like gray gradient hair and wear a bow tie rather than the bloody tie.
I just wanted to spend the whole game running around completely naked.
Just like a chimp in the wild.
Don't be embarrassed.
Because I'm a fucking chimp. And chimps don't care.
It's funny.
And in the video game?
We even in the video game. Obviously we could get to other games. This isn't just us airing our grievances about Donkey Kong. But I did also, an annoyance in Donkey Kong, which shows up in other games, is a convoluted fast travel system. In that, in a single level, Donkey Kong's fast travel is amazing. Like, once you've explored it, you unlock a shit ton of different nodes that you can ping pong between in a given layer, and that helps for cleaning stuff up, doing exploring areas you haven't seen before, and everything. But in order to get to a different layer, you need to specifically warp to one specific point in every level. Talk to that big fish. The big eel will take you to another layer, and then once you're at that layer, warp again to wherever you need to go. And it just felt like an extra step that was unnecessary, that mostly in the post game it kind of annoyed me, because that was when I was like really like going back and cleaning up a bunch of levels and getting a bunch of stuff done, and I was like, this feels like a little tedious in a game that otherwise mostly respects your time.
I mean, maybe it was a tech restriction, but I was hoping that if I went onto the map screen and just pressed up and down, it would just switch to the map for the next level up, so it would have all felt a lot more seamless.
Yeah, even if you had to play a little animation
I was going to suggest,
you know, the eel comes up, eats you, quick loading screen, eel spits you out, like that would have been great. Okay. Are there any other games other than Donkey Kong that anger us? I can talk
a lot of what we're going to be discussing today. Is I'm going to try my best to play devil's advocate of like, why were these things done from a design perspective? I'm glad we started on skill trees, because a lot of that I can't justify. I think a lot of it is just fluff bullshit. But I'm sure some of the other things, there will be reasons why these things are done. So I'd love to dig
we have Final Fantasy X in the thumbnail, and I put that there because I've been replaying Final Fantasy X for the first time since it first came out in 2001, and it's a pretty good game. It has a couple things that I feel like are grievous sins that have been fixed since, but aren't fixed in the remaster that came out a little while ago. One thing being unskippable cutscenes in a game that unpausable, unskippable cutscenes feels like a baffling decision, which we don't really get too much anymore, but I always get nervous in a game where it's like, what do I do if I want to pause this thing? Can I hit start and just go to a pause menu, and then will I have the option to skip it, or what's going to happen if I hit start?
Mind's Eye fucking doubled down on that, because as well as having unskippable cutscenes, the autosave was at the start of the cutscene.
Yeah.
So when you go back to reload your last save, you'd have to watch the entire fucking cutscene again.
Yeah,
fuck off.
And in a game that is will often crash on you or throw a bullshit boss fight at you that you die at, having to do that is a real pain in the ass.
Man, it's like that game was going out of its way to be shit.
That's another one. Dying at bosses and then seeing an unskippable boss intro cutscene before you fight them again.
Yeah.
Actual vomit.
And that's that thing of it takes something that's really cool and then like grinds it down into something you fucking hate, which can be a lot of horror games too, where it's like, okay, I've gotten annoyed at the xenomorph chasing me in Alien Isolation, and it's gone from being a really cool adversary to just an incredibly annoying challenge.
Yeah.
I just thought of another one that's also in Donkey Kong Bonanza, actually. But I'll talk about it in neutral terms. Scenarios where you go into a boss fight with a bunch of consumables in your inventory that you want to use to help you in the boss fight.
Yes.
And you use them in the course of the boss and almost beat the boss, but then lose at the last moment. Reload the save to just before the boss fight, and you don't get your consumables back.
We call that the Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is the worst design decision in Bloodborne, is making you farm for blood vials.
I've made multiple videos on that one thing.
Defend that, Jay.
Fuck no, that design sucks. I will die on that hill. The same with again, I will speak about it like Yahtzee in neutral terms, but Bonanza does this. When you get low health going up to a boss fight, go in on like 1 health and get 1 shot, obviously, because you're on half a heart. But then the game respawns you directly outside the boss fight. Well, in that case, just give me a like consumable room that refills my health before I go in. Like, don't make me go through these multiple like interaction costs of loading in, walking up again. Just refill my health.
Yeah. Also, games where it's like Souls-like, but you don't heal up at the checkpoints.
Oh yeah.
It's like, so you just have to die and then respawn at the checkpoint with full health.
It almost
might as well have cut out the middleman.
It almost feels like there need to be like consumer protection laws for design decisions, like, or things across the board where it's like, what happens when you level up in an RPG? Like, you should have your health and your magic maxed out instantly when you level up.
Your thing there of talking about cutscenes and what happens when I press start is another thing that I think should be universal, and we should just define a design language and follow it, because we as consumers, whether they're skippable or not, should understand that when you press start, there is a qualifier to say, do you want to skip, rather than just immediately skipping, right?
It is
you
the
should
pause
be terrified
button.
of pressing
Like,
buttons.
you should be able to pause. Yeah.
It's usually hold B or press select or something, you know.
I was playing Sid Meier's Pirates for obligations reasons, and I was playing the GOG version, it's like the old 2004 Xbox/PC version, and I was watching the cutscene and I accidentally pressed a key. It wasn't even escape, it was just like space or something, and that just instantly skipped the cutscene, and I was dumped into gameplay, just like a ship in the middle of the sea, not knowing what the fuck to do. I literally had to restart the game just to get context to what had happened up to that point.
Yeah,
so annoying.
It's baffling. The last thing in Final Fantasy X specifically that really irked me, which less going into the specifics of why it's bad, but the entire Blitzball minigame, which becomes mandatory at a certain point. And for people who haven't played Final Fantasy X, your main character is it'd be like if Tom Brady got isekai'd 1,000 years into the future. That is what Final Fantasy X is. And you have to play this fictional sport called Blitzball that is so fucking bad. And Final Fantasy has had its ups and downs for minigames, but it's one of those that is so incredibly bad and incomprehensible. And so that's more of the, shoehorning a thing that doesn't belong in an otherwise like relatively base experience, which could be everything from turret sections to mandatory stealth.
I knew FFX had Blitzball. I didn't know it was actually mandatory to beat the game.
Yeah, there's an entire game. And I don't think you have to win, but you have to play a game. And let me tell you, it's not fun. It is not enjoyable whatsoever.
That happens in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with Queen's Blood, doesn't it?
But Queen's Blood is fun, at least.
Well, this is your bias showing, I think, because I didn't like it. I never engage with like the diegetic mini games in such games because I
turn away from them.
Oh, because your whole thing is like, if you're off saving the world, you shouldn't be like, well, maybe I'll develop a little gambling addiction on the way.
Yeah, and well, partly it's because I'm a reviewer, and these games are literally designed to sort of distract you from going through the critical path, and I need to get through the critical path as fast as I can to review the game. And it does just sort of affect my immersion with the story, especially if it's kind of mini game where it selfishly takes up the entire screen while I'm doing it. It just feels like interrupting the game rather than being part of it.
Yeah.
I kind of just turn away from them. If I see I call it like a Gwent. Like if I go in a game and they've shoehorned in a card game that the characters play against other NPCs, I say get fucked, and I'd immediately try and get out of it. I'm like, no.
Unless it's Queen's.
No, I love card games. I love Magic. I love Gwent, but I'm just like most game devs are only doing this because other games have done it and they don't do it very well. So I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time playing this. Probably you like Gwent. It's like get fucked.
Yeah, that's the. I've been. I was on my Switch too. I was replaying Breath of the Wild, and I hit the point. I probably put like another 60 hours into it, and then I hit the point where you have to go through that stealth section in the Yiga clan hideout and you have to be real sneaky. And I was like, I think I'm done. I don't want to do this. Like, all I have is like the one last divine beast, but I'm like, I dislike that mandatory stealth section so much that I just think my playthrough is kind of done. I just don't think I want to do it.
That's a topic for a future podcast, I think. The point in the game that kills the replay.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
The point in
that should be next episode.
Point in your favorite game where you just go, I'm done for now,
I'm gonna write that
down. then just never go back to.
It's for me. It's just anything that's inserted into the game where it's other gameplay system from other popular title that we've dragged in. Like stealth is the prime example that doesn't belong in those games. Or my one would be context climbing in any game ever. If like when you walk up to a wall and then you have to jump from handhold to handhold to get up a cliff, and it's just used once or twice in the game. Call of Duty, one of the more recent Call of Duties, did it a bunch.
Yeah, I hate that. I call it corridor climbing, where it's literally just walking down a corridor, except you're pressing the button to jump from a linear sequence of ledges, and it might as well have just been a ladder.
Yeah, and it's usually like so different to the rest of the game that it really draws attention to itself of being like, hey, look, you're going up this wall. Isn't this cool? No, just give me some fucking stairs.
It's fucking join the dots puzzle is what it is. Point to the next thing, press jump. Point to the next thing, press jump.
Was that a thing that like was cool at a certain point and then we got sick of it? Like, was that something that like when it was first used was like, oh, this is kind of like almost like QTEs where it's like, oh, this is like adding an interesting flavor, and then people were like, oh no, this is becoming kind of a crutch that you're leaning on, and I don't like this.
Yeah, I generally blame Uncharted for corridor climbing.
I was just about to say, do you dislike it in Uncharted? Do you dislike it in Uncharted?
Well, it's not really what you're there for. I think in Uncharted they sort of mix it up a bit by sort of having you jump across interesting environments to sort of show off the environment design. And a lot of games, it's literally just you stare at a wall for 5 minutes. Probably because they're hiding loading.
Sure. Oh yeah, Uncharted's able. Naughty Dog is one of the handful of developers that's kind of able to. I mean, they partly created it and then partly continue to get away with it because of how good their games look and how cinematic they can make something feel when they're not actually doing all that much. But it kind of makes you feel like, oh my god, I just escaped this train that went over a cliff and is dangling, and I got to climb up it. And you're not doing a ton, but it kind of gives you the illusion that you're doing it.
They use it as a tool, right? Rather than having it be. A lot of the times in other games that are using it, the character could probably find another way, an easier way of subverting this small cliff or like wall up a building. You could use a door. They've been invented. But they don't, right? And it's just, you very clearly see that it's a developer placing this in the game to be climbed rather than a necessity on the character's part.
Sure.
Yeah. Or sidling through a very narrow cave.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. You got to get through that little narrow crevasse.
God, I love those side walking through very narrow caves.
Yeah.
I was reminded of it the other day because I parked too close to a wall.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm loading in this shopping mall.
Loading into this map. We brought up Mind's Eye earlier, and I mean, I feel like you could do an entire episode on the design sins of Mind's Eye, but I think a game that tells you have to go all the way to this place just for the game to tell you what to do, and then you have to go all the way back to another place. It's like I guess that's like stretching or padding, but it's so many times in the game, someone would call you and be like, meet me at my bunker. And you have to drive 3 miles to the bunker. And then you get the mission. And the mission was near where you were originally. And so you just drive back. And in Mind's Eye, there's nothing to do on the way. There is no fun to be had outside of the main missions. And the main missions
the commute.
Either.
The commute, the mark of the game that was open world that didn't need to be open world.
Yeah, and like it's a commute, but it's not an entertaining commute in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I mean, it's justifiable in games where it's actually got fun moment to moment gameplay, and it's fun getting to places because there's pushback, like your GTAs and your traversal focused sandboxes.
Yeah,
but yeah, not in Mind's Eye.
The thing for me is,
it starts in Mind's Eye.
Thinking about like how you contextualize it in the game's world, I think something. I guess I just have Guild Wars on the brain because I was just doing a talk with them. But in a fantasy world, there aren't usually many ways you can communicate over large distances. So you have to actively travel or use mail or something like that. But like in Guild Wars, like I think it's in the second expansion, one of the characters who's like technologically advanced develops like a phone, like a mobile phone, and like gives you one and is like, this is how we're going to communicate now. And you can see how their narrative delivery changes and how you just go from interesting thing to interesting thing rather than, oh, go tell this person this thing happened and then come back. It's just, they find other ways of doing it. When you're in a game where phones exist, you don't really have that excuse. Mind's Eye, you could just send a text, mate.
Yeah. It's not like Red Dead where you would have to send a fucking pigeon.
This meeting could have been an email.
Yeah.
Did you know the telegraph? Did you know the telegraph predates electricity?
How?
Huh.
How?
You know how they originally did it?
No.
They literally had a tower on a hill with like semaphore arms.
Okay.
And they had like a fucking line of towers that could all see each other. And one tower would deliver the message by arranging the semaphore arms into a coded message. And the next tower would see it and pass on the same message, and so on. And by this method, like a message would get across France in 12 minutes.
That's like the beacons
first
are
message
lit. Seen in
Fuck you, Marty. I was just about to say, was the first message the beacons are lit?
Yeah. And
calls for aid.
It was a French invention. I think it was the British who realized, hey, why don't we just use a simple electrical wire that goes beep or beep and send messages that way? And thus was the dawn of the modern telegraph.
And then fast forward to this podcast.
Guys, like, I really like beeps. Can we do something with beeps? I just really fucking like beeps.
Can we do the next podcast in Morse code?
Yeah, we can probably do that.
It makes me ill thinking about it.
Yeah. The last one I had written down, again from games I played lately in Breath of the Wild, but in a lot of other games as well, is the inability to do something in a batch. So in Breath of the Wild, you have your cooking sort of side activity to where you can cook up to 5 ingredients together, but you can't say, okay, I want to make a meat skewer of 4 different meats, and I want to make 5 of these, and I have the ingredients to do it. You need to make one, watch the whole animation, Link will hold it up, it'll tell you what it is, and then you need to go back into your menu and select the 5 things and put them in the pan again. There's no like, save this as a recipe and make this easily at a campfire. And that goes for, games where you sell things and you can't say, I want to sell all 50 of these. You have to sell them all individually.
Oh God. Yeah.
They feel like real basic things to stumble on.
Not to hop on Bonanza too much.
You're beating a dead monkey.
I've got another one. I like Bonanza.
Yes, would you believe that we like Bonanza after all this?
Yeah, as much as we're complaining. It reminded me a little bit about this with those little puzzle pieces with his little circular children.
Oh yeah.
Escort missions where if the walking speed of the NPC does not match your max walking speed, so they cannot keep up with you, and you have to kind of like half walk with them, get fucked. And also if you exit their range, so they just stop. And they stop walking.
I had a whole video complaining about walk and talk as a concept. I think that was one of the last extra punctuations.
I will say in the defense of Donkey Kong there, it's like, I guess they're children.
They're scared.
They're like little
kids,
babies, like dumb little babies. But they're also
honest,
pieces of the father?
Chimp, right?
Or pieces of the adult?
It's probably best not dwelt upon.
Children
if
are
I
pieces
cut a
of you,
pound of
right?
flesh...
My baby boy.
Pound of flesh from my hip.
My baby boy.
You don't reattach your children to yourself to complete yourself.
But you're not a puzzle piece, right?
Kangaroos do. Think about that.
Not really.
I don't know how kangaroos work.
It's not quite the same thing.
Would you?
Anyway,
if you could have a vestigial pouch, would you have a vestigial pouch?
Well, I do. It's called the space under my balls.
Ah, your grundle. The thin line between heaven and hell.
Yeah, I can tuck my stationery in there or my business cards.
You're going to get a paper cut. Don't put it in there. Why would you do that?
Well, not with my business cards. I have smooth edges.
In conclusion, video games are great, but sometimes they have things that annoy us.
Yes, here's a few of them now that we can now list. That the super chats have all suggested.
Oh my god, the super chats.
But before we get to that, of course, we have Raven, who gives $5 to give us Raven's weekly word of the week. Week 10. Hey, Yahtzee, let the boys try this one first. Prepossessing.
Is that like predisposed to like something? Or predisposed to be like?
No, you won't get this one if you try to intuit it from the fact that it's the word possessing with pre in front of it. It's a weird one.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I was reminded of it when I saw the super chat, so I looked it up on Etim Online, but that didn't really help. But it is weird, yes. Prepossessing specifically means attractive for some reason, as in she had a prepossessing figure.
Oh, okay.
She was fit as fuck.
Yeah.
I like that one better.
See, that one's a bit more to the point. Yeah. So that seems needlessly obtuse.
Well, that's English for you. What a hideous mongrel language it is. Sinus Hedgehog, that's Alex Armstrong, isn't it?
It is.
Yes, Alex Armstrong gives $2 and says, point and click moon logic. I'm too dumb and impatient.
We've evolved past that as a society, right? I mean, I guess there's still indie games that are doing it.
I like to think so. What was I writing about the other day? I remember bringing up point and click moon logic in something.
It was it one of those point and click games you did recently? The one that one indie studio makes that you occasionally review?
There's a bit of point and click moon logic in Dave Gilbert's stuff, but mostly his problems is overly linear puzzles where there's like one on the inventory item and one puzzle to solve it with at any given time. Oh god damn, what was I talking about? Oh, never mind. Yeah, point and click moon logic. Yeah. I mean, it's the reason why the genre isn't the popular niche it used to be, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess for people who don't know exactly what point and click moon logic is, it's the old point and click adventure puzzles to where it is less using logic and context clues and more like what was the insane designer thinking of at this moment. Like there's we talked about it in Silent Hill 2, the weird combination of things to make the fish hook or whatever to get the thing out of the drain.
Yeah.
It extends past point and click games as well. Like Cave Story is a good example of moon logic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember now. It was when I was writing about Luto for Yahtzee Tries last week.
Oh, nice.
You remember that? No. Wait, Jesse was with me for that. Yes. Well, one of the puzzles in that game, because it was like a first-person horror adventure game, one of the puzzles was that if you press the SOS button on the phone 3 times, then a hammer will fall off a chandelier in a different room.
Fuck off.
That's also one of those,
Yes.
you would press it one time and be like, well, I guess nothing happens. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
And the hint to that puzzle was that when you press the SOS button, you feel the house shake a little bit.
Ugh.
Oh, that actually makes me feel ill.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah. Moving on then. Lance the Were-Yeaner gives 70 Zaros and says the Were-Yean's word of the week, because Yahtzee continuing to not know it is an annoying design feature. Clade, a group of species considered to have evolved from a specific ancestral species. Oh, well. Technical academic language.
What do you mean you consider to not know? How do they know you don't know it?
Well, I didn't know it because it's an extremely obscure technical word from like a niche academic circle.
Yeah, but why were they angry that you didn't know? Like,
best people just want me to know every word.
I think you know too many words. I think you need to get rid of a couple of them. If you know every word, you don't know any words. That's what I say.
There's certainly a lot of redundancy in my vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
Do I really need to know both loquacious and sesquipedalian?
Yeah, no, just pick
No,
one.
They both
pick
do
one.
Sasquatch or
Both-
licorice.
I know.
Do one of them.
And they both basically mean the same thing.
Yeah, I keep saying that.
Yes. Do I need to know both disconsolate and lugubrious?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Oh, lugubrious. That was a word of the week.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but I remember it was a word of the
Back.
week.
Reference. My nostalgia bell just rang.
Yes.
Thanks.
It means disconsolate. Anyway, Murray the Demon Skull gives $5 Canadian and says, "Get to watch this live! Hooray for working from home during a 35-degree heat wave."
That's too hot.
Celsius, I
And
should say.
also, sorry, this was the episode that you saw.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, at least we sorted it out in the end.
we did. Look, I got greens. My OBS, knock on
And the
wood, is
and the
greens.
boys are back. Let's focus on the positives.
Yes.
Boys
you
are
know,
back.
the
There's
lads
only
are
a
back
little bit
together.
of overlap in our cameras. It's fine. It's fine.
No green lights.
Lance the Were-Yeaner, member for 5 months in the Green Gang, says, "Also stares into your souls. Ooh woo.
Ooh, woo, woo. Thanks, Lance.
Ooh woo."
Oh, here's one. Here's less. This is less a video game design annoyance and more of this is Jess was annoyed the way I was playing Fallout New Vegas. When I leveled up, I would just fucking throw there's like 5 or 6 skills I'm mostly looking at, and I would just throw the points in them willy nilly, and it'd be like 39. One's got 39, one's got 41, one's got 44, and Jess was freaked out that I wouldn't end a level on like a nice solid number. Like I could have easily been like, okay, this skill at this level has 40, this one has 45, this one has 35, this one has 30. I just put it in wherever wherever it rolls.
That bugs some people. Like some people refuse to leave like the volume control on their TV at anything other than a multiple of 5.
Oh no, I don't. Yeah, I put mine where
No,
it feels
Marty,
nice.
that's sicko behavior.
No. So
you're a wrong'un.
The only I disagree. Listen, once you've freed yourself from the shackles of needing to land on those primary numbers, those big old numbers, you're gonna live a better life. However, Jack did bring up a good point in that mechanically, all of the skill checks, I think all that we've seen so far in New Vegas, fall on the 5s. So it makes more sense to be like, okay, I'm gonna put this one to 45, and I'll just wait, and next turn I'll get this one to 35.
For me, it's the willy-nilly aspect as well. It's in RPGs where you can, put your stats where you want and they affect the gameplay. I want to kind of hone in on a handful of them so I become decent at those things, like hacking or whatever. If you're just going, yeah, fuck it.
Oh no,
like,
no.
you're
I
gonna
am
be
I am
shit at
focused on the
everything.
kind of character I'm gonna be. But it's just within those focused, like I'm not putting anything in like lasers or melee or anything like that.
You're
but
not just like closing your eyes and just going,
no,
okay,
but
let's go.
I'm doing like a lot of speech and lockpicking and science and stuff, and I'm just kind of tossing them out at every level in those.
So you can
handfuls.
speak to those locks. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I guess I feel like the quickest way to realize either you're weird or someone else is weird is watching them play a game you're familiar with and being like, that's not what a human being should do in that scenario.
Game testing,
Yeah.
game testing of any kind will make you realize how different we all are.
Sure,
It's,
especially if
baffling.
you've made something. I'm sure Yahtzee saw that in Star Trek Vagabond. Someone will play something that you've spent hundreds of hours making and being like, I did not expect anyone to deal with this in this way. This is insane, but people are weird.
Well, this is why it's important to tutorialize properly. I've found.
Toots.
Yes, Alex Armstrong gives $5 and says, do QTEs serve any purpose or are obsolete like life system? Do they test player alertness and reaction time? Do they add tension stroke excitement to gameplay? I don't think they're necessary, and I can't remember the last time I saw a game with them, to be honest. Just the things like you're watching a cutscene and you have to press a button, or your character dies and you have to watch the cutscene from the start.
Yeah.
That's
the
dumb.
worst, when they're mid cutscene and you're like in tension waiting to see if they show up. That cutscene should be like a put your controller down, pay attention.
Unless it's like,
scratch your ass.
I feel like an Until Dawn is like, okay, this game I expect to have to be on my guard during every cutscene.
That's the whole game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. If it's not like running through the whole thing, I wouldn't bother. I mean, to my mind, timed button prompts belong in rhythm games and nowhere else.
Yeah. I mean, isn't parrying the evolution of time button prompts?
I guess.
Just
but,
not as in your face, and I guess more rewarding.
Yeah, and it's a little more organic, I suppose.
Yeah, like a parrying.
The game should let you parry the cutscene by skipping it.
Listen, don't tempt me with a good time. That being said, Asura's Wrath was incredible, and we as a society failed ourselves by not embracing it at the time.
Yeah,
if you say so.
Yeah.
Juicy Jeff 969 gives $5 and says, that one time when Sakurai thought a tripping mechanic in Smash Brothers was a fun idea.
Listen, sometimes you don't know if something sucks until you put it in the game.
I'm not aware of this. What was this all about?
I believe, you know how you can dash, like run in Smash Bros? I believe there was a certain percentage chance that you would just trip while running. And so, like, you would just, like, in a one-on-one match, like, you would be going in for the kill, and your character would just trip on the way to the other person, which I guess is realistic. People trip every so often.
Yeah, and it creates sort of a thrilling story. I mean, maybe your opponent could rally. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think with Smash Bros. We should be talking about realism when an anthropomorphic fox is fighting Solid Snake.
Hey, Solid Snake
He's a member of
mostly fights Fox.
I was about to say, he's got Fox die.
Yeah. Yeah, that's his like one directive.
I feel like Jay's like, I don't know what that means. Jay's like, whatever you guys say.
I do know what that means. I've just like, every time we bring up Metal Gear, I'm like, I really need to start making those videos.
There's no big games coming out. Play now.
I should.
No, of course not. Fjord37 gives 20 Danish kroner and says, missable collectibles, especially if I can't return. Yeah, I've always hated when Sonic the Hedgehog would have you like explore the level to look for the Chaos Emerald portals, because in Sonic the Hedgehog early 2D games, it was very easy to take a path that would just send you through like a fucking device that sent you like a third of the way across the map without you being able to go back or stop at any point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was not conducive to exploring everywhere.
Yeah.
Just playing Celeste on charity streams on the weekend to raise money for Trans Lifeline. And in Celeste, there are the collectible strawberries. And we were doing, every time I get a strawberry, it's worth like $10. So they were really valuable. And sometimes I would like progress, do the jumping puzzle, and then progress into the next screen. And as it was transitioning, I would spot a strawberry and be like, oh, like, and want to go back, and you can't. Like, it doesn't let you. And it's the thing I dislike. It's just like, I want to be able to go back and re-tackle this challenge if I want to, rather than resetting.
Celeste is a pretty good game.
It's a great game.
Certainly is. Super Serious Face gives $2 and says, Simon Says mini games. Oh, you know what? I sort of liked Fantasy Life I, but when I was doing the whole Breath of the Wild bit where you're going around like the open world and looking for like the secret shrines to unlock extra characters and shit, every time I walked in on one of those and it was the fucking Simon mini game, I would go, oh,
I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
How during that development, how was someone like on the team not like, hey, this isn't fun. Can we put literally anything else in here?
Well, they were making like 500 different gameplay mechanics, so I guess it got lost in the shuffle.
And no one had ownership over that one. It just kind of existed.
Yeah.
Are there any other gameplay things like that where Simon Says is such a universal, well-known like trope in games that people just chuck it into their game because most people will understand it? Are there any other like?
Yeah, because it's like it transcends language, culture. Like it is a child mimicking what they see from a parent, that kind of thing.
Oh, it used to be sliding tile puzzles as well, especially in shit like
Sliding
Resident
tiles,
Evil.
yeah.
I like sliding tile puzzles. Like that's
I
still
don't
if
mind
there's
them.
just
We
a
didn't see
game
them
of
enough.
sliding tile puzzles, I'd fuck with that.
I mean, I have techniques for beating sliding tile puzzles, but I think they annoy a lot of people who aren't as clever as me or as puzzle oriented.
You've gamified sliding puzzles.
I have a lot of satisfaction on stumbling into puzzles and then realizing that they can be brute forced. And then, as the stubborn piece of shit I am, will just be like, I'm not going to figure this out. I'm going to brute force it just to teach the developers a lesson.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of Breath of the Wild puzzles along those lines.
Yeah.
Sovereign46 gives €5 and says, precision platforming in first-person games, looking at you, Half-Life. Yeah, that's it was much trendier in like Half-Life's day to have jumping puzzles, as they used to call them, and not so much these days in your first-person games.
Yeah.
I think, parkour in first-person they eventually figured out in that how you make that work is that it's not so much trying to accurately land on things as sort of treating the player as the bullet, lining up where they want to go and pressing forwards.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the first person platforming got much better over the past 10 years. Like maybe in the post Titanfall, Apex, and then in the indie sphere, stuff like Neon White, obviously.
Yeah. But if it's just like taking a running jump over a bottomless pit to land on a narrow ledge,
I just
nobody
think
liked that shit.
Any game that has platforming that basically isn't part of its core focus. It's the same with stealth. It was this interesting moment when Jess was playing Expedition 33 and struggling with the platforming, and I was looking at it and I was like, yeah, you just jump from this block to this block. It's easy. And she was like, no, you don't get it. It doesn't feel right. And then she was like, just try. And I tried to do some of the platforming and it felt like ass.
Oh, yeah, it's not built for that. Yeah.
I thought that was so fascinating because I make games in Unreal. The default third-person camera and platforming feels good. So they had actively made it worse on purpose. And I'm like, this is interesting.
If I had to guess, I feel like those platforming challenges, like specifically in Clair Obscur, those kind of beach ones where you have to it's almost like that one indie game where you're just constantly jumping on pieces of shit, trying not to fall off to see as high as you can get.
Yeah.
I feel like those were brought in very late in the game because those puzzles are literally just like a bunch of random assets from other places in the game where it's like, here's the furniture from the mansion. Now jump on it as you're going to corkscrew.
It feels like a platforming version of the Gwent minigame, right? It's like a developer just wanted it in the game and just chose to put it in.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
Alex Armstrong comes back with $2 and says, first Aussie, now Hogan, celebrities dropping like flies. Yeah, although they usually come in threes. So do you want to take bets?
Theo from The Cosby Show died as well last week. So
I don't know who the fuck that is.
You don't know Theo? Theo Huxtable from the Cosby Show?
We're British.
The older son?
We're British.
I know what the Cosby Show is. I never watched much of it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Pudding Pops from Mrs. Nanny's book depository. Is that a British show? Was that a bad name for a British show?
What? Mrs. Nanny's book depository?
Yeah, that sounds like some shit you guys would watch.
Was that off the top of your head, dude? I'm actually impressed.
Yeah, no, because I know. I watch a lot of BBC 4.
I'm going to bet the next celebrity to die will be King Charles.
I can dig that. I think it's going to be...
Spent his whole life waiting for the throne, died after 2 years. Ha, 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 ha.
It would have been interesting if he just died immediately as he sat on the throne.
I can tell you who I want to die, but I would get us demonetized. So let's just read the next one.
Okay. Mirith Day gives $2 and says, the use of the L3 or R3 buttons on the controller. I'm with you if they use it too much.
Yeah.
It does like the thumb joints in. But just like occasionally for just, to activate Rage of the Gods or whatever, I can live with it. It's not a deal breaker.
Especially if it's both of them at the same time. If it's only one of them, I get startled very easily when I play games. Not like scared, but like, ugh! And I will grip my controller harder and I will accidentally press L3 and R3 often. And so if
that might
things
be
happen,
a sausage finger problem.
It's being terrified of everything plus having fingers like sausage. Yes.
Yeah, it's a wombo combo situation. I think it's a situation of I spoke about this a bunch in FromSoft's usage of sprinting and not using L3 as their default sprint, because a lot of games do. I agree with Yahtzee though. Like, I think you can get fatigued by holding L3 in to sprint, and it can feel kind of uncomfortable. I feel it should be a toggle, and while the input of using the left analog stick is present, it enables sprint, but when you let go, it stops sprinting. Like, there's so many small things you can do to make it feel better. A lot of games just don't, because other games did it that way, and they just copy it.
Also, let me choose my own buttons. It's fine.
Yeah.
I can have a default one, and I'll make my own buttons.
Then, yeah.
I hate games where it might require you to press the shoulder button and the trigger on one side at the same time.
Oh yeah, and then
because I use my index. I use my index for both. It's weird otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, part of it makes me think, is some of it a game feel thing? Because there is something kind of satisfying about pressing two triggers in at the same time, whether it's the top bumpers or the sticks in. Like, the ultimates are usually on these.
Yeah.
And the PlayStation 5 did a really interesting thing with their haptic triggers. There is something satisfying about, like, when initiating big moment or doing big thing, pressing two triggers or pulling a harder trigger. Might be for game feel.
I think there's something wrong with the haptic triggers on my PS5 controller, because like it acts like a full press if I just lightly touch it, which is very annoying if you're just holding the controller.
Yeah.
Tsunami Douche gives $20 and says, "Guess what?
A design flaw that they are annoyed at in video games."
No, he says nothing.
Oh, got douched.
Seen it coming.
Got absolutely douched.
Still somehow the number 3 participant, apparently. Murray the Demon Skull gives $5 and says, "Jamate, were you able to enjoy Skyrim on the OSP stream since you didn't need to buy it again?"
A double reference. Yesterday I was on Overly Sarcastic Productions charity stream to raise some money for trans causes, which was really cool. Hang out with some cool people. But yeah, they were playing Skyrim, and as people who have watched the Battle Masters will know, I struggled to even play the game. I had to buy it, I think, four times to try and get it, and it still wouldn't work. Yeah, so I enjoyed watching some of it. I really need to go back and do a playthrough of Skyrim, because I think there are some really interesting and really bad design choices in that game, and that fascinates me.
Lance the Wereyina gives 14 Zaras and says, "Money to revive frozen yards."
We did it. We fixed it. We fixed him.
Yeah. Yes. Everything's fine now. There will no longer ever be problems. So Navidush comes back and, interesting. He gives us $5 and again says nothing.
I think that was when everything went to hell. I think it was more of like, I support you guys in breaking everything.
I don't like it though. He's broken the trend. I feel like the timeline is changing and I don't like it. Okay, I'll
being
find
superstitious.
Yeah.
Dr. Theo, member for 18 months in tip jar, and then gives us another $2 to say, and says, "We need an egg cup update, Jamate."
Oh. Yeah, well, I still don't have one, and I've in the last month, I've been to around Massachusetts, Connecticut, up to Seattle, up in Salem, out with my mother. I haven't seen a single egg cup, so I'm still a firm believer that they do not exist in this.
You can literally buy them for $2 on Amazon right now.
I ain't going on Amazon. I don't want to pay Bezos.
You can buy them from Sur La Table. You can buy them from Zara. You can buy them from 58.
I want artisanal off the highway egg cups.
I've got a Williams-Sonoma chopping board. It's nice.
There you go.
That sounds fancy.
It was a housewarming present. Anyway, Alex Armstrong goes $5 and says, "Genius as the Sonic Ring lost mechanic is, I hate how the more you get hit, the farther the rings fly out. Yes, it's teaching me to preserve, but still. Sounds like a skill issue, Alex Armstrong."
I kind of get, though, if you distill that into, which is, again, a little bit like the blood vials in Bloodborne, is like 2 layers of punishment for failing. It's failing, and then not only did you fail the challenge, but you are in a worse place than you were before. I even
Failure
think that,
Cascade.
Yeah, Failure Cascade,
Yes.
or like an annoying, like games that have like a particularly tricky jump, and if you miss the jump, you then need to do a bunch of platforming to get back up to the annoying jump. And so that's almost like the equivalent of like a long boss run in a Souls game, but it's like I'm being punished by replaying something that I'm not enjoying in order to attempt to get through the thing that I'm having trouble with.
Yeah. I think it's funny how Failure Cascade kind of just describes the Sonic franchise as a whole.
Wow. Except for Sonic Frontiers, a game we all love.
Yes, we're all big fans. Let's hope it isn't the final frontier.
Oh, I love Star Wars.
Yes, 3987 gives 50 AEDs and says, an annoying design choice is needing to call IRL numbers to pass a puzzle. The Who Killed Roger Rabbit game had one, and now without looking up a guide, you can't beat it. Extremely niche, but it exists. That is weird.
The Roger Rabbit game. Oh, like an actual phone number you needed. Yeah, there's that kind of like fourth wall breaking. I believe Metal Gear Solid 1 has a on the back. There's a. They tell you specifically to get a codec code from the back of the box, and if you don't have the box, you don't know what that codec code is.
How does that work in the age of digital distribution?
I have no idea.
We have to go and look at the screenshots on the store page.
Yeah, I actually can't remember when
Casey
and I played the GOG version, what we did.
Zaratha gives $5 and says, I've just arrived and the AI summary is chat and Yahtzee are trying to know if the stream is running smoothly. Also, Lies of P skill trees. Thanks, AI. Did any of us even mention Lies of P?
No.
No, maybe maybe that was a second thought, because maybe they came back when we started talking about skill trees and they don't like the Lies of P skill trees.
Okay.
Does Lies of P have skill trees? I didn't play.
No. Oh, no, actually it does. It does, actually.
Yeah, it does. Amongst other things. Nidarom gives $50, a magenta super chat, no less, and says, I agree skill trees are overused, but I felt it was a welcome addition in DK Bonanza because it gave more purpose to the bananas. Odyssey had way too many moons to collect, but perhaps it would have felt less like of a chore if they did more for you. Say, in Odyssey, what they did was they gated the next area behind getting a minimum number of moons, and I wonder why DK Bonanza didn't do that as well. I mean, it's not until like post-credits mode that it starts gating based on how many bananas you got.
Yeah. In the post-game, you need it's 350, 400, 450 to do the...
And I actually found it really hard to find the count that tells you how many bananas you've collected so far. I had to go and look at my fucking save file on the save
Yeah, that's
menu.
mostly the place I remember seeing it.
It
was one of another problem for me with Bonanza. Again, I like this game. Was that I would go through, and you know when you like smash down to go to the next layer, whether it's just a sub layer or like a new level, I always felt like I stumbled across those way too fast, and I'd just be like, wait, have I collected enough? Like, have I seen the things? And like my completionist brain would freak out, and I'd be I need to go look. And I think having a gate for like, you need to collect X amount before you can progress encourages that more like thorough exploration. So I think I prefer Odyssey in that sense.
When I was still in like pre-credits mode, before I realized that the bananas had a purpose in post-credits mode, I just started skipping like the optional dungeon challenges things. I just couldn't be asked.
Banana. I mean, you didn't want to hear that though? You didn't want to hear "Oh Banana"?
I was hearing plenty of "Oh Banana" in the mandatory stuff. Thank you very much. Anyway, Mahu Yusei gives $2 and says, FFX sure does has grievous sins, Marty?
Sin's the name of the big bad.
Yes. The big bad who's also a space whale who's also your dad.
Your pops. Old Jecht. That's like Tom Brady's dad. It's like if Tom Brady's dad ended up becoming an extinction entity.
It's a weird plot, is Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
It makes you want to play
good music. Great music.
To summarize, you're a ghost footballer from the future fighting his whale dad.
Mm-hmm.
Put that on the front of the box.
Anyway.
They did.
Amiyasa3987 gives 25 AEDs again and says, as a bonus, I asked AI for some Batman villain quotes for their parting words before offing Joker. Mostly trash, but here's 4 bangers in my next super. Okay. Well, before that, Nick Knoll gives $5 and says, how about tedious dialogue prompts where you have to press X over and over, then end with, would you like me to repeat that? Ooh, I've been caught out by that more than once. I mean, like, I'm actually a very fast reader. So, like, I'm usually like 3 words into the voice delivery by the time I've read the subtitle. So I tend to skip through dialogue a lot.
I think both qualifiers of like, would you like to do X and then yes or no? It sucks if you start on yes or no. Neither is good. You need to have like an analog stick input before you select either one, so you know the player is consciously making that decision. Because randomly selecting both could piss off a lot of players.
They need to just be able to hack into your camera, and when you get to the end of it, you can give something a thumbs up if you're good, or a thumbs down if you're not.
I love it when a game goes, "Are you all right?" And you have to be like,
"Is everything okay? Everything okay?" Oh no, he's got sausage fingers. We don't know where they're
taking your
facing.
feedback.
All right.
That's an accessibility nightmare, right? If you got no thumbs, I can't progress through the game.
Amayasa comes back with his Batman villain quotes for offing the Joker that he was bigging up earlier.
All right.
Let's see what happens when the clown finally becomes afraid of the joke. I'm going to guess that was Scarecrow. Wrong again, clown. You never were a mystery, just noise. I'm going to say that's probably Riddler. You never understood, clown. This city's not a joke. It's a business. Penguin, maybe?
Or
Penguin.
Or Harvey Dent. Yeah.
And call it justice, call it luck, just don't call it a punchline. And I'm saying that's Two-Face.
Justice. He's like a DA, yeah. And Killer Croc is, oh my God, I love this sewer meat. This sewer meat tastes great.
Yes.
Matt, I bet you taste good, Jokers.
Yeah. Killer Croc's just, no.
Yeah.
And then they come back to say, sorry if those quotes were off topic, was worried if I posted AI stuff elsewhere, I'd get mocked. By the way, actual artists and writers matter.
I agree. Actual artists do matter.
I just love that with all of those messages, you gave us 100 AED. What was AED?
Yeah, I think that's Arab Emirate dinar.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
thank you for 100 of those for your quotes.
Yes, it's worth a total of 11 cents.
That can't be true.
Fuck yeah.
No, I'm making that up. Dr. Theo gives $5, says, I've always hated how grindy Minecraft has gotten. XP, diamonds, netherite, and especially the enchantment system has so much grinding. It's annoying.
More like Grindcraft.
You know what I'm finding like enjoyable is creative mode in Minecraft. But I only play that with my girls.
Sure.
They sit either side of me and say, "Oh, let's put another story on our apartment building," and I just do. And,
That's cute.
That's lovely.
I like that.
And that's what
That's
we're
the
doing.
thing I like about Minecraft. I'm not a big fan of its progression and story and meh.
I only like the film version.
Alex Armstrong gives $2. Says Amazon wants a Wolfenstein TV show made. Thoughts?
Yeah, they greenlit the series.
Just play.
They need Buff Columbo. He needs to play.
Imagine him as that, like
Jack Reacher.
Yeah, as the Nazi Slayer. He is BJ Blazkowicz.
Yeah, fucking Dreamcast in there.
Yeah, it's actually they got good folks behind it. The showrunner is the showrunner of this. He worked on The Leftovers and Watchmen, and this show called Station 11, which was really good. And then producers of Fallout. So hope it's
well. You know, Wolfenstein: The New Order was really well written anyway. It doesn't need to be a TV series in there.
Think about it.
You could watch it as a TV series.
Counterpoint: TV is better than games. Think about that.
I disagree.
Damn.
I disagree.
What about Frasier? Show me a Frasier game.
I'm sure there's one on the SNES.
Disco Elysium.
Disco Elysium is kind of a Frasier game. Oh no!
Frasier. That's your next that's your next video, dude.
Anyway, the Hawk CBM gives $1.99 and says, "Oh, banana! Congrats to Marty on a fun video."
Thanks, Hawk. Eric made it sing.
What accent is that supposed to be?
Oh,
because the answer feels racist.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it has like it's like if the face of a temple talked to you, like Olmec from Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah.
Labyrinth.
Beware. Yeah.
Right. So it's just stock African voice. Let's not dance around.
Could
it.
be
That's what
South
they're
America.
doing.
It could be racist against South Americans as well. Could be racist
I
against
love
a bunch
that all
people.
of the giant creatures in that game were all voiced by like Japanese native speakers, and I loved that whenever you got a new song, I'd love to hear the big creatures go Bonanza, like, and they all did their own version of it. I was literally waiting for it every time. It was great.
I also like how it's like a bunch of elderly folks with like nice ass headphones vibing out. I'm like, this is what our entire generation is going to be when we're old.
Well, and also like they would go, hey, I did this very specific job, and also I'm now a casual DJ.
Yeah,
like every single one.
I mean, DJs have been around for ages. There's lots of really old DJs in the world.
but maybe they picked it up later on. Like Yahtzee picked up baking relatively late in life.
Fatboy Slim is 61.
Weapon of choice. Think about that.
Yeah, now he's Fat Man Gaunt.
Fat Man Gaunt. That's a Metal Gear character right there. Fat Man's already a Metal Gear character. Never mind. I forgot.
And he's still married to Zoe Ball, apparently, although they separated in 2016.
Can we just have a gossip episode where we just talk about gossip?
Can we have some hot goss?
Anyway, where was I? Peter Parker SL gives $5 and says 3D games that use a mouse should require a highlight mechanic. So many times on Baldur's Gate 3, I hit the ground instead of the enemy I thought I clicked on.
What do you mean?
We didn't used to
mechanic?
have to highlight everything in mouse-controlled games. We didn't in our old point-and-click adventures. Check your privilege, mate.
Do they mean highlight as in like whatever you are currently hovering
Outlining.
over is highlighted like a bit? Like, this is going to be a rock, or this is going to be
like outlining
that's what I'm
seems...
assuming. When everyone complained about it in Deus Ex Human Revolution, absolutely fucking everything had a little line around it, little yellow line, like it was drenched in Wii.
On Wii?
Sovereign, if you like. Sovereign 46 gives €10 and says, not sure if it counts, but I have to bring up poor autosave placement. Nothing more annoying than having to play through the same bits over and over just to get back to the bit that's giving you trouble. Yeah, I'm having trouble with that because I'm replaying Skyrim at the moment. And they only autosave when you enter an area or when you leave an area. So, like, there's some pretty long dungeon crawls in that game, and that lack of an autosave can set you back.
Yeah, and speaking of saving, Breath of the Wild did patch this in, but at launch it only had one save file, which seems insane. Like the idea that you own a game and then in order to be like, oh, well, I'm halfway through it in one file and I want to start another one, I have to delete that first one. Like, what are we doing? It doesn't fucking cost money to have extra save files.
It makes it more real. Oh yeah, Link only exists in that one world. If you make a mistake, you're fucked. Something.
Get out of here, Miyamoto.
Okay.
Get this bullshit out of here. Lazy Miyamoto.
Fill My Ass Up gives 50 Norwegian kroner. Says, games I want to replay where the first missions are basically tutorializing the mechanics super slow. It's criminal not allowing you to skip them. Yes, I agree.
I feel like every game when you beat it should just have like a little, like almost like a chapter select on a DVD. Like even in fucking Dark Souls. Listen, if I just want to like fight Ornstein and Smough and I've beaten the game, I should just be able to go back to Ornstein and Smough and fight him. Who am I hurting?
You mean Ornstein and Smough?
Smough? Did I say that wrong?
Smough. Smuff.
Ornstein.
Nobody knows.
Oh yeah, it is.
Nobody knows.
I thought it was with an A. Well, fuck them.
Zelda's like another example of that. A Smaug.
God damn it.
The Zelda's another one of that. When you play Twilight Princess and you're like, the opening of that game, you're like, is this just the game?
Yeah.
This kind of sucks.
Like me hurting goats
that
forever.
goes on forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex Armstrong gives $2 and says, bought Elite Dangerous. Any beginner tips, Yards? Buy more than one gun.
Did you play Elite Dangerous? I didn't take you for an Elite Dangerous, man.
I reviewed Elite Dangerous back in the day. I like space trucking. It's nice second screen material.
I am contemplating picking up the current version of Star Citizen to see how far along in development.
There's only one game you're allowed to play if you're not going to play Metal Gear, and it's Star Citizen, because I need someone to tell me what's up with that game.
I know, right? I'm thinking about doing a video, so we'll see.
That would be great. I would love that. Okay, you're allowed to put off Metal Gear as long as it's Star Citizen.
Okay. Mr. Movies, etc. gives $5. Says, I know this isn't a new one, but I will forever and always hate when accessing inventory menus doesn't pause the game. I like a challenge, but JFC.
Just fuck Christ. That's what that stands for, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so what?
Well,
like,
you know,
the fact that's an oldie. There's no pause button in a Souls game.
well, that's because of all the online stuff, and some games like Zombie U, for example.
Sure.
Like having to pick the right moment to pause and hide in a corner and rummage through your stuff is sort of a gameplay mechanic.
Yeah, and I think that works relatively well in Zombie U. Yeah, I don't know how much. Yeah, I'm curious in like Dark Souls. I should try this out for Switch. If you just are in handheld mode and you just put the Switch to sleep, does the game pause?
I don't know.
At a hardware level,
You just die. Continue to get pummeled.
You just come
while
back
you're
and
asleep.
Smaug is stepping on you, saying, "That's not how you say my name."
Well, it's like an extension, right? Like you pausing the game and accessing inventory systems is an extension of your character taking a moment and having the time to do those things, right?
Yeah.
I think The Last of Us is a good example of this, of kneeling down and getting the backpack off. And,
Sure. Yeah.
and I think, like, if you're mid battle, being able to take your backpack off and switch out your weapons is probably not something you can do when Smo Boy is like swinging at you. So it's just an extension of that. So I kind of dig it.
Alex Armstrong gives $2. It says Iron Boots water temple issue in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah,
Grr.
that's just annoying micromanagement. If there's a thing you're going to need to constantly do and undo, and you prop that behind a couple menus, that's real annoying.
It needs to have a single interaction cost.
Even the original Resident Evil 4, you had to go to the pause menu to swap weapons.
Yeah. Again, I think those are some like that kind of thing died for our sins in that they were the first ones like on the beach, and we're like, oh, okay, I guess this is an annoying way to do it. Maybe we shouldn't do it this way going forward.
Snake in the Garden IE gives €5. It says Duncan Design Pro to balance out the meanies. Great tutorial, slow add of new mechanics versus some games that vomit them all at you in first 5 mins.
Yeah, we've also talked about the annoying in terms of tutorials and shit, teaching me something too early on that I'm not going to need. Well, about the Half-Life, the jump thing, where it's like, teach me something before I'm going to need to use it, not 5 hours before.
Yeah.
I ain't going to remember that.
Ryan Betts gives $5. Says, if you're looking for Yahtzee Tries games, you're more than welcome to take the piss out of whatever I come up with a GMTK game jam this week.
Ooh, give it a go.
Oh, good luck with the game jam.
You'll be lucky.
Everyone check that out. The Game Makers Toolkit's game jam. It's always very entertaining to see what people come up with. And friend of the pod.
There you go.
Yes, and quite. Aitor Ribari gives 2,000 arses and says, I hate it when you have the ability to run, but it consumes stamina. So if you want to travel faster, you have to run, walk a few seconds to recharge the stamina bar, and run again. Just allow unlimited running if you're outside of combat, especially Metroidvanias and open world games.
If you're outside of combat,
but it's realistic.
Right? That's the Elden Ring thing, where it's like if there's no combat, you have no stamina, and I think that's great. I'm fine. Stamina is interesting when you're in combat, when you really need to conserve it. But if I'm just running from point A to point B and there's nothing in the way, let me run.
Well, the real question for me was that if the sprinting didn't use up stamina, what's to stop us from just sprinting all the time? Why not just have a sprint by default?
Sure.
I mean, whenever like a game, it doesn't cost anything to like dodge roll everywhere, and dodge rolling everywhere is faster than walking. I just find myself doing that, and it sort of spoils the somber tone of the game.
It's just whether the act of doing something, of like pressing buttons to get the desired outcome, makes the player feel like they're interacting with the game more, which has its benefits. I do agree with you though, like it can just be, if that's the default, why have it at all? But
I like it's rare that we get a stamina or speed system that kind of thinks outside the box. I really like the Pathless, the game by the former Journey devs who made Abzu. you kind of sprint along the ground and you continue to keep your momentum by shooting targets with your bow and arrow. And the targets are like laid out in the level and you're kind of auto locked on to where you kind of find a path, and it almost becomes like a racing game / speedrunning game / extreme sports game. And it feels
What's
real
that called
good.
again?
The Pathless. Highly recommended.
Let's check that out.
Yeah, real good.
Tommy Salty gives 10 PLNs and says, level scaling, bandits in Oblivion in top tier armor. Yeah, I've often said that one of the advantages of leveling up should be that it gives us the chance to go back to starting areas and kick the shit out of our high school bullies.
Mm-hmm.
Juxtaposition gratification. Let's go.
Yeah. And then Aitor Ribari comes back, member for 10 months in the value tier. Ha. And says, also, sometimes using your dodge roll is faster than running, so I just cross the whole world doing roly-polies. Sometimes annoying, sometimes hilarious.
Didn't
Yeah,
Jack back in the day put a whole video of like scientifically figuring out if it's faster to get across Ocarina of Time by rolling or by running?
And is it?
I don't know. I didn't watch the video.
I know it's faster to get through Symphony of the Night by moonwalking.
That's right. Yeah.
The like backstep moonwalk. Yeah.
Dr. Theo gives $5 and says, now that I think about it, isn't rolling a d20 in D&D kind of the tabletop version of QTEs? Not really.
No.
Because there's no time challenge.
Yeah.
And also there's a variety of outcomes of rolling a d20, which is the fun of it. With a QTE, there are two.
It's usually
fail or succeed.
Success or failure.
Senuther gives $5 and says, Yahtzee, today I discovered the New York Times spelling bee doesn't accept wank. What are your thoughts or feelings about this? You know what? I too entered wank into the spelling bee this morning, and I too discovered it was not allowed. But then,
Spartacus. I'm Wankicus.
It doesn't allow fuck or cunt, so I guess they're not being inconsistent with that. Also, today's pangram is workman. Hey, I just spoiled it for everyone. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, all two people who are doing it while watching this. Fuck.
It's the anagram that uses all the letters in the spelling bee. Actually, there's two today: workman and workwoman.
Great.
Ha 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 ha. Spoiled it. But yes, you might be interested to notice that you could get wank from the letters of workman, and that's how this all began. Anyway. Mirith D gives $2 and says, Jermaine, how do you feel about the FF14 platforming?
Wank, if that will be accepted.
Good wank or bad wank?
I think most MMOs have terrible platforming because they're not built for that, especially if they're tab target MMOs. The only game to really do that well is Guild Wars 2, but that's because from the ground up, it was built for having jumping puzzles and platforming exploration. So, yeah. Design your game to do those things and it might be good.
Kingdom42 gives $2 and says, third dead celeb, Tom Lehrer, yesterday. Who's that?
I don't know who that is. He's not more famous than Theo
I
Huxtable.
know they're dead.
Tom Lehrer, oh, he's a singer-songwriter.
He's wearing a bow tie.
In a bow tie.
He was 97. So
wow.
Well, he had a good run.
That is insane to be born in 1928 and to live to see this fucking nonsense. Christ.
Well, at least you had to...
He was probably like, peace out.
Yeah, at least you have the pleasure of knowing that you're not the one who has to fix it.
Listen, I already lived through several catastrophic wars. You guys could fix the rest of this.
I've had enough, mate. I'll bow out before the third.
Alex Armstrong gives $5 and says, using L stick for 2D platformers when D-pad exists. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Everyone's like mapping the D-pad to weapon select these days. Fucking tryhards.
Classic tryhards.
Zaratha gives $5 and says, sausage fingers, fearful buns. Marty has a very peculiar hot dog on his hands.
I got less sausage. They're like long. I got long fingers, like a palm of basketball.
Sausages can be long.
Hubba hubba.
Dr. Theo gives...
Wait, I've got a basketball thought. I need to get out my brain because it will linger here like I'm being haunted.
Let's hear it.
I just imagined Marty coming to the next like gathering we go to as a crew with two basketballs just to prove that he could palm both.
I don't know if I could palm my left
onto
hand. I
them
could
the
palm my
entire
right
evening.
hand. I got a stronger right hand than a left hand. Ooh.
Why is your right hand stronger?
I said ooh woo indeed.
Woo.
We know what that was pointing towards. We're in mixed company. There's dogs and whatnot.
The basketball.
Yeah.
You don't strengthen your hand for masturbating. You strengthen your elbow and your wrist, depending on how big your cock is.
Is there like a threshold where it works out one muscle compared to another?
It's a bell curve, dude. If that makes sense.
I mean,
Thanks Game Maker for the sponsorship.
It starts at the wrist. If you're really well endowed, you have to work out your elbow, and then if you're seriously well endowed, you have to get your shoulder into it as well.
Man, you've got one hench right shoulder. Congratulations.
But anyway,
this is why Smough doesn't want to hang out with us.
I don't blame him.
Lost the place again. Dr. Theo, $5. There's not really a design choice, but I hate it when I spend a lot of time figuring out a puzzle, only to realize it's a secret and I walked by the real path. Yeah, I've been there.
You got tricked.
Yeah. Jab Hawks gives $9.99 and says, "Hi gents, first time seeing you all live. Love your guys' stuff. Dragon's Dogma and its sequel have some awful design choices, but are so important for the game." Well, don't keep us in suspense, Jab Hawks. Which ones are you talking about?
That's some interesting. That's almost like a whole different thing of like, this decision is bad, but I'm glad it's here, or like this decision helps spark the friction that makes the thing what it is.
I mean, we both made videos on like our gripes with Dragon's Dogma. Yeah, and like
Right. Well, my main gripe was that my save file bugged out.
That's a solid gripe, if I'm being honest.
There's too many for me to say. I had a lot of gripes. I had a gripe with nearly every design decision that game did.
But I mean, there's something like tank controls, or like the way, or Silent Hill 2. Didn't you like the modern Silent Hill 2 remake camera and controls are nebulously better.
They're clunky on purpose, right? To aid in the horror. I don't think the designs of Dragon Dogma are clunky for the aid of making their creatures feel bigger or making the combat more engaging. I think they're clunky because they were trying to be different and just failed at it, in my opinion. I mean, if you enjoy that game, more power to you.
If you enjoy that game, click off right now. We don't want your money.
Never come back.
Why don't they sell blue cheese in slices? I'd like a blue cheese slice on my sandwich.
On your sandwich?
I'm just thinking about my lunch because I'm hungry. And I was thinking I'm probably going to have a ham and cheese sandwich with cheese slices. I was thinking, you know what? I'd really like it if I could get blue cheese in slices because I'd love to have blue cheese on my ham sandwich.
Just slice the blue cheese yourself.
That's not the same.
Crumble it.
It is true. Sometimes you get the cheese slightly too thick.
Make your own slice.
I guess it's probably too crumbly to slice. Yeah. But moving on.
If you melt blue cheese, it's gonna like stink out your place like a gas bottle.
Witticism gives $5 and says, "When roguelites oblige you to grind every bit of the easy early content, you'll be leveled later. I like when I can skip part of a run."
Yeah, I think it's fine if you have to do it the first time, but don't make me do it again.
Isn't the whole point of roguelites we have to start from the beginning each time? Isn't that the whole appeal?
Yeah, but there's like the permanent unlocks to where it's like, okay, I don't have to do this shit anymore, but
it's like consequences.
Yeah, like Hades, you still have to go through the easy levels. Spelunky, you can develop shortcuts.
But then getting those upgrades makes those first parts quicker because you kill everything faster, which is part of the juxtaposition gratification of making that section satisfying.
Yeah.
But then a lot of times if you take the shortcut, it hurts you because you kind of need, it's like res where you kind of need to start at the beginning so that by the time you get to the harder levels, you've built up your level and you're high enough.
Yeah, it's complex, yeah.
Anyway, Dawn Grossman Naples gives $5. Says the online features actually don't prevent a pause button. Illusory Wall made a video about it. Also, Smo is pronounced Smo as a pun on sumo. Huh. I guess he does have a sort of sumo stance going on.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
You skipped one, Yahtzee.
Did I?
Marcus Larson.
Yeah, Mark.
Oh, yes. Marcus Larson gives $10 to say, "My least favorite helpful feature in some modern games is unskippable tooltips and pop-ups throughout beyond the actual tutorials that you cannot turn off, even on subsequent playthroughs."
This is very specific. I was trying to capture a little bit of footage of Pikmin 4 for my Donkey Kong video that went up this morning. And I loaded my old save file that I'd beaten the game and I played 20, 30 hours or whatever. And I just wanted like a nice shot of like me with a bunch of Pikmin walking towards the camera. I knew exactly what I wanted. If you leave the game stationary for like 5 seconds, a tooltip will suddenly come up of like, here's how to move. And I'm like, I'm 30 hours into this game. I clearly know how to move. Just like, it was like really annoying trying to be like, I just want to get this thing without this fucking tooltip. So yeah.
No drooling moron left behind, I suppose.
No, that's a classic. That's Nintendo's mantra.
Yeah. Sinuther gives $5 and says, annoying design, forced to control an injured character. Just make it a cutscene. I remember being very frustrated in Max Payne 3 and Destiny 2. But it's a interactive narrative.
If I'm worried this person might actually die, I like controlling an injured character. If it feels like, well, this is clearly not going to actually have any ramifications, then I'm like, this is just annoying.
Takes place 2 hours into this 30-hour game.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I don't know, like there's the like controlling
just
Joel in the first game as in The Last of Us, like after the rebar goes through you or something, is like, that's a cool moment.
Or forcing, like in Metal Gear Solid 4, when you're forced to play Solid Snake crawling slowly along the ground in the corridor scene at the end.
Oh yeah, in the microwave oven. Yeah, those are good games.
Gay Bear Daddy 2, member for 20 months in tip jar. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then Otters in Tuxedos gives £9.99 and says, all of you but mostly Yahtzee. I always wonder how you manage to play through some games in the space of a week. Do you play longer games over the course of several? How do you do it? I don't, is the slightly disappointing answer to that. A lot of games I just don't finish. I just play as much as I can and maybe watch the ending on YouTube.
Yeah, your schedule is very concrete, where you play a game 1 week, write and make the video the next. Play a game 1 week, write and make the video the next.
But you know what? If you don't know if you like a game after like 40 hours with it, that's probably on the game.
But it gets good at 40.
Because my schedule's a little bit more drawn out because I got 2 weeks instead of one. I tend to just get hyper obsessed with that game over the span of a week or a weekend and play nothing but like all day, every day, and then get sick of it and then make a video.
There you go. Vactor, member for 19 months in the Green Gang, says Star Citizen mining is a lot like Power Wash Sim. Well, that sounds like the mining in Starfield as well. You just
There's only one way to mine.
Your laser at rocks on the wall. Yeah.
I hope Jay becomes like a fucking Star Citizen truther, being like, "No, this is real. This is happening."
I've already given them like £250. Like I gave it to them like 10 years ago because I was like, this game's going to be great. I want to get a really cool ship. Like I'm going to wait for it to come out, and I'm still waiting. And I'm one of those people that refuses to touch things in early access because I just want to experience it when it's done. I want to see the vision. But it's been so long, and there's a friend of mine who's like, hey, there's something here, like there's something really cool here. So I want to go see if they're right or they are just spending our money inefficiently.
Vactor comes back with $10 and says, my friend always wants to play it, but all he wants to do is mine, stack boxes and truck stuff around. Things most people would find tedious, but it's the whole point of the game for him. He avoids combat.
It's going to become Yahtzee's favorite game.
Yeah, for
stacking boxes and trucking shit around. You made a whole game about that.
Seems like there's the option to do that.
So I don't need any fucking rivals, thank you very much.
Don't worry, your game came out, so it has a leg up on Star Citizen.
Yes, it's got that over it. Eventually came out. I worked on it for like 7 years. Alex Armstrong gives $2 and says, what happened to Battle Masters? I'm slow on news. We haven't specifically drawn a line under it. We just stopped doing it regularly because it wasn't really bringing in the views.
Yeah, it takes an
and it was a lot of effort to make. Specifically.
Yeah. An incredible amount of pre-production, production, and post-production hours across the team.
I mean, we all had fun making it, so it broke our little hearts.
It was like our favorite thing to make, right? Yeah. We were all super excited to do a new episode.
But you know, there's a lot of really good films in the world that were absolute nightmares to work on, and lots of very terrible films in the world that everyone was having a whale of a time.
A whole hoot.
Yeah. So what Yahtzee is saying is it's your fault that it's not. There's no
all of you
anymore. Specifically you watching.
All of you go watch Battle Masters 50,000 times, and then we'll be convinced it's worth doing.
Perfect.
Anyway, Blistered Soul gives 4.99, says Chrono Trigger battles. I just click as I don't know how to navigate the character option menu. I'm just spam clicking attacks till the bar refills.
You don't have to wait.
Have you considered looking up how to navigate the character option menus?
There's just
Blistered
not.
Soul?
It's also pretty simple. It's like a Super Nintendo. Like, not a whole lot going on under the hood there. You can figure it out. I believe in you. Also, use Frog because Frog's great.
Apparently, yeah. I like how with his like victory pose, he produces an incredibly beefy arm that's really disproportionate.
Yeah, you know why? He does a lot of cranking.
Yeah,
Does a ton of cranking.
Got strong shoulders, dude.
Yeah.
Not much else to do when you're alone in the swamp.
When you've exiled yourself.
Yeah.
Is he swanking?
Oh, he's swanking. He's swamp wanking.
He's fwanking.
Him and Kermit, a couple of swamp wankers. Get us out of here. It's lunchtime.
Yes. Why are there so many songs about wanking? Anyway. QC Fight Nights, welcome to credit. Thank you very much.
Juicy Fight Nights.
And then Prime Paradiso gives £199 to say Final Fantasy 15's driving on rails until the car legit flies.
Final Fantasy 15 was meant to be a very different video game. And became a very different video game after a few years.
I didn't know the car eventually flies. Probably
Not
stuck
at
with
launch,
the game
it
if I'd known
didn't.
that.
It did not at launch, and didn't when you played it.
I mean, I really liked in Promise Mascot Agency when you unlocked the ability to get your van to fly.
That's a good game.
I'd have liked it in that game as well.
Yeah.
Anyone who's played Final Fantasy 15, go back and watch the reveal trailer of the gameplay and cry.
I mean, you can go back and watch the Versus 13 reveal trailer and be like, what happened here? what happened to this video game?
And then Nonky D gives $2 and simply says, fart.
That's a beautiful way to end.
And that's the last super chat. Yeah. What a note to end on. So, well, thanks for listening to the Windbreakers podcast, everyone. Clearly we've all got opinions on design issues we want gone from games. Perhaps the comments would like to supply some as well after the fact. And then you could feel like you got involved, you fucking slackers.
Incredible.
I was Yard Scroshaw, joined by Jay and Marty, as always.
Beep, beep, ribby,
Marty
ribby.
hosting the stream today because everything fucked up early on. Sorry about that.
Well,
I'm saying sorry, even though, as previously said, it wasn't my fault at all.
It couldn't possibly be your fault.
What have we got this week? Well, fully Ramblematic this week, of course, which will be on the subject of Donkey Kong Bonanza, if you can believe that. We're not quite done talking about it and nitpicking. But, you know, if you have a lot of things to nitpick about, that just shows you've been playing a lot of a game, I think.
Exactly.
Just reflects well. I've also got Yahtzee Tries, my weekly stream on Wednesday afternoon. Don't know what I'm going to play. Jay will probably guess because he hasn't for like 4 weeks.
Hey, I assumed as much. I'm prepped for it.
But yeah, we'll figure that out. And of course, the Yahtzee Tries compilation of reviews, edited video, will be out on Sunday as usual. So that's my stuff. What else we got?
On my front,
sorry. I'm not quite done plugging my stuff because I'm
go.
also guesting on Dev Heads on Friday. I just remembered.
Damn, you're a developer.
Yeah, we are doing that.
Yes, I'm sitting in for Tina.
We got a goddamn 4 podcast week.
Yeah,
legal.
Crazy.
It's the big fourfer.
Incredible.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, across the channel, all sorts of great stuff today or this week. As I mentioned, my Donkey Kong video that Eric helped put together is live now. I put the link in. Go watch that. It's good. Later this evening, Jesse and Jess, Hidden Gems, going to be back at the normal time playing a Dino game. A new Dino Metroidvania came out. So they're going to be playing that. Tomorrow, new backdrop from Darren. He edited this one. So it's a full Darren off. He'll also be back with Jack and I for the Rewind tomorrow. We'll be talking about Fantastic Four First Steps as well as Happy Gilmore Part 2, the sequel to the film Happy Gilmore. Nick is going to be back tomorrow afternoon restarting Dark Souls 2 because shame works in this society. If you shame someone hard enough, they will play Dark Souls 2. Casey's not back this week, so no Wednesday evening stream, but normal stuff. Thursday, I'll be back with Jess. We'll be playing Fallout New Vegas at the normal time. And then Saturday, I believe starting at 10 a.m. Central, speaking of shame working, Nick's going to be playing 8 hours of Persona.
Oh my lord, that's this Saturday?
Yeah. You know what? The way games were meant to be played in that don't remember where he was because he hasn't played for well over a year.
Has he gotten off with his waifu yet?
I don't even know where we were. The last time I remembered, we were in Futaba's palace, and I don't remember if we've ever finished that. I think Joe Biden was president at the time.
Oh man, so
the
he
last
hasn't got
stream
to
was
that
on
really
second win,
obnoxious.
right?
He hasn't gotten to the really obnoxious boss fight in Okamura's palace yet.
No, I don't think we've gotten Haru yet. I literally don't remember. Not the way to play him.
Anyway, we got one last super chat.
Yeah, me. I know. I haven't. Wait, I've got to do my plug.
Okay, do your plug. Sorry.
Yeah, I've done Design Dell for a while because I've been with my mother and on documentary trips and such. But you guys, if you've been missing it, all 2 of you, there'll be a new one next Monday. So look forward to that. I'll see you then.
Incredible.
All right, can I read the last super chat now?
I'd be honored.
Yes.
It's from Gay Bear Daddy 2, who gives us $5 to say Marty plays FF14 stream when.
Listen, I'm already playing Fallout New Vegas. You can't make me play more things. Listen, I'll get out of my comfort zone a little bit.
Hate it.
But I want to go back to my comfort zone. I'd like to know what all these fucking cards I keep unpacking are. I keep opening up packs of Final Fantasy cards, and I'm like, I don't know who the fuck any of these people are.
Who's got time to play an MMO these days?
Not me.
Especially with kids in the house.
I only got time to get my one arm real buff. Like Frog.
All right, well, I guess that's it from us for now. I'll see you all on Wednesday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Me too, probably.
Bye, everyone.
Are we off? My hand hurts.
Oh, yeah, I forgot I'm the one that has to hit the button. I forgot it was me. Bye, everyone.